Hi folks, welcome to the Friday sermon. We'll start as ever with the blowing of the shofar for the month of Elul. So here we go. We'll now say the Psalm 121, page 510 in the Singers, which we'll sing. Then we'll say prayers for those who are unwell, and those with the Yahrzeit, and then we'll hear a few words. Shalom alois, Esau einai el harim, me'ayin yavo Esri me'yim Adonai, oiseh shomayim v'oretz, al yitein lamoidrag lecha, al yanum shoimrecha, hinei lo yanum v'lo yishon, shoimei Yisroel, Adonai shoimarecha, Adonai tzilcha al yad yaminecha, Yoimam hashemesh lo yakeka, v'yoreyach b'layla, Adonai yishmorecha, mikol ra yishmor es nafshecha, Adonai yishmor tzezcha v'yecha, me'ata mi'ad olam. Running a little bit later today, but we wish long life to those with Yahrzeit this week, and we wish refuah shlema to those who are unwell, and we will have them in mind in our prayers, particularly tomorrow in Shul and throughout the week. So we wish long life to the following who have Yahrzeit this week. On Shabbos, Patricia Leff for her father, Paul Lewis for his father, Stephen Lewis also for his father, Warren Torts for his mother. On Sunday, Alison Bernstein for her father, Michelle Bitton for her husband, Kitty Konzon for her mother, Esti Moscow for her father, David Pital for his mother, and Gloria Samuel for her partner. On Monday, Gail Hayes for her father, Grace Levine for her husband, father of Jeremy Levine, and Jeffrey Levine, and Simon Moscow also for his father. On Tuesday, Stuart Berg for his sister, Anthony Levy for his mother, Edna Sinclair for her mother, and Bernie West for his son. On Wednesday, Raymond Berkeley for his mother, Carol Chesses for her mother, Linda Herrera for her husband, Gerald Isbett for his father, and on Thursday, Trevor Geppert for his father, and Alan Murray for his grandmother. Wish everyone long life. Chaim Aruchim. We also wish long life to the family of Paul Pollin, who sadly passed away last week, to Marlene, Ian and Jonathan, all of the family, Chaim Aruchim and Ori Simchas. El Merachamim, Sheikhem Bamrimim, Hamatem Nuchan Achayin Atachas, Kamaya Shechina, Amalois Kedashim Terim, Kazerkia Mazirim Es Nishmas, Yosef ben Hershel, Eshmul ben Avram Alevi, Ves Chasha Sheina Bas Moshe, Ves Plim Yanko ben Avram Alevi, Ves Yaakov ben Yitzchok, Ves Shoshana Bas Shmuel, Ves Mokka ben Label, Ves Yoshua Avram ben Shmuel Alevi, Ves Pinchas ben Yosef, Ves Miriam Bas Binyamin, Ves Roch Bas Shmuel, Ves Chaim Yosef ben Binyamin, Ves Chaya Es Chava Es Bas Avram, Ves Michal ben Avram, Ves Hershel ben Moshe Alevi, Ves Mordechai ben Avram, Ves Yisro Bas Gershon, Shochur Loilamam, Anam Barachamim Yasirim B'Sei Sekar Vam Yoilamim, Yitro B'Tachai Ves Yishmas Avad Menach Rasam, Yanuchu Mitzvah Mishkavay Sam, V'Naimar, Amen. I found the list, so we'll say the refuah shleimas as well. Please add names of those who you're saying prayers for when we get to that point. Mi shemeracham sin v'tiyakam v'shadom shloimai, hu yivorech v'yirpeh es mir bas neta, v'es Yisuk ben Miriam v'es Chaim Feng bas Pesha, v'es Punesh Pinchas ben Miriam v'es Chana bas Nechama, v'es Chaim Tov ben Chaim Leir v'es Am Mishal ben Sor Devura, Ves Boshim ben Freidel, Ves Pesach ben Shane Gita, Ves Shimon ben Chaliba, Ves Yeshua Chona ben Miriam, Ves Shlomo ben Mindel, Ves Avram ben Sarah Peril, Ves Mordechai David ben Sil, Ves Yaakov ben Miriam, Ves Michal ben Hemya, Ves Yerusalem ben Sora, Ves Tzvi ben Sora, Ves Kasria ben Freidel, Ves Pinchas ben Liba, Ves Yitzhak ben Rozachaya, Ves Baruch ben Tovachaya, Ves Shmuel Reuven ben Nechama Esther, Ves Shmuel Yehuda ben Kayla, Ves Rafala Shana ben Chana, Simeon ben Sora, Ves Wolf ben Pauline, Ves Yitzhak Isaac ben Yudis Rachel, Ves Nazim ben Shana, Ves Meir ben Malka, Ves David ben Tova, Ves Moshe ben Shifra Rachel, Ves Malcolm bas Chana, Ves Esther Chana bas Tavura, Ves Esther bas Rachel, Ves Hershel bas Rachel, Ves Francis bas Hershel, Ves Leah bas Karen, Ves El bas Sora, Ves Tavura bas Gittel, Ves Simon Masha bas Yacha, Shtamas bas Chaliba, Ves Tavura bas Sora Liba, Ves Gali bas Sora, Ves Yudis bas Beina, Ves Leah bas Etel, Ves Yitzhak ben Sora, Ves Yisrael ben Sora, Ves Michal David ben Rivka, Ves Bracha bas Fein, Ves Shemel bas Sora, Ba'avor Shemenon Mesaka Ba'avaram, Ves Chazek Shochi Rachim Alei Rachim Ves Chazik Rachim Yosam, Vishlach Le'Meir Ruch Shem Shloim Chayim Chavinem, Sasher Chalei Shrov Vos Nefesh Rozagov, Hashtav Agos Non Karim V'Naimar. Amen. We wish Mazel Tov to Alan Weinstein on his birthday, and to Yvette and Brian Henderson, to Gemma and Luke and family, and to Natasha, and to Josh on his wedding to Abigail in Israel this week. A hearty Mazel Tov to you all, only Simchas. The joke is told about the Rothschilds decided they're far too wealthy to worry. So they hired a Yiddish fellow whose job would be, it's a good job for a Jewish boy, a nice neurotic job. He'll be their official warrior. And they won't have to worry. They're too wealthy, they're too important to worry. So this guy turns up Monday morning. And they say, okay, you're our official warrior. All our tzoras, your job is going to be to sit here and worry on our behalf. He says, sure, no problem. He says, when do I get paid? They said, that's your first thing to worry about. We all want to get paid on time. This week's Sedra contains the mitzvah of paying a worker on time. It says, B'yomo titain secharo. You should pay him on the day that he does the work. You shouldn't let the sun go down without paying him. Now, it could be you have an arrangement to pay someone weekly or monthly, but this idea that you should pay somebody on time, they shouldn't have to wait to get paid. People often joke, some yeshivas particularly, they're not so good about paying people on time, but it's a mitzvah d'oraisa, it's explicit in the Torah. You have to pay a worker on time. So, we made our third bar mitzvah recently, and those who've been paying attention, which I'm sure is everyone, to the maimah, the discourse, that the bar mitzvah boy recites, will know that it says there that God does mitzvahs, so to speak. In the same way we put on tefillin, it says Hashem puts on tefillin. We put on tefillin which say nice things about him, he puts on tefillin which say nice things about us. So question, it says in the Torah, you have to pay your workers on time. Okay? Does God pay us on time for our hard work? There is a concept of reward and punishment. Okay, interestingly, a few weeks ago we read the second paragraph of Shema, and notice that it always gives the reward first before the punishment. The carrot before the stick. And if that fails, sometimes you need the stick. So there's a concept that we get rewarded for the mitzvahs we do. When do we get rewarded? According to Jewish tradition, in the world to come, in the future. Okay, we can talk about what that really means, but it's in the future. You don't get your reward immediately. It's not immediate. So you can ask the question. I know that there is a concept that God himself does mitzvot. How could it be that God delays payment to us for what we do in this world, and yet we have to pay on time? It's a fair question. So I heard a beautiful answer, which I heard from Rabbi Chaim Rappaport, formerly of Beehive Lane, a number of years ago. And I think it comes from the Arizal, the famous Kabbalist, Rabbi Yitzchak Luria. So, yes, how can it be that God does not reward us on time? Well, it says in today's Sedra, tomorrow's Sedra, B'yomo titain secharo. You should pay him that day. Let's do a little gymnastics with the words. B'yomo bet, titain tof, secharo sin or shin. Beis, tof, shin, bet, taf, shin. Change the letters around, and it spells the word Shabbat, Shabbos. So if you take the first letter of each word of the phrase that says you should pay the guy or the lady, the man, on time for their work, it spells the word Shabbos. What is Shabbat? Shabbat, we're told, is it's a glimpse of the world to come. We say it in the Zemirot, in the Psalms. We refer to it in the liturgy of Shabbos. It's Me'ein Olam Haba. It's a glimpse. It's a throw. It's a sense of the world to come. Why? Because we're on a higher level, we're on a different plane. We switch off from weekdays. We stop worrying about everyday things. We switch our phones off. We stop working. We don't stare at the clock the whole time. So the closest thing we have, says the Arizal, the great Kabbalist, the great mystic, the closest thing we have in this world to our reward from God for mitzvot, the taste of the world to come, is the day of Shabbat, the day of rest, the Shabbos. That different sense that we have on a Shabbos is a taste of what reward feels like. And when we celebrate Shabbat in the right way, we can have that experience as well, that heightened spiritual relaxation, that sense of genuine rest and respite. That's interesting. We find in Jewish law, we have, of course, civil laws, laws of damages, laws of if you injure someone. So it's a famous thing that we find in Jewish law. If I'm walking with a beam over my shoulder and I'm walking down the street, right, let's assume, I don't know, I've hung a piece of a handkerchief or something on the end. Everyone can see I've got this big beam of wood on my shoulder. And I'm walking down the street in the village, in the shtetl, or in the city. Whose responsibility is it to keep out of my way? So the answer is, it's down to the pedestrians. I can't see everything around me. I have to be careful. But if I'm walking with a big log of wood, beam of wood on my shoulder, then the halakha, the Jewish law, is that within reason, unless I'm negligent, if I'm being sensible, it's up to the passers-by to get out of my way. If someone gets hit by the beam, then probably they're not going to get compensation because they should have been looking where they're going. Except for one day of the week. What day of the week does the rule change? Friday. Because Erev Shabbos, everyone's running around like a headless chicken. So then the focus changes. If you're going to walk around with an obstacle, a dangerous item sticking over your shoulder in public on a Friday, you should know that everyone's running around like mad, like a headless chicken, and it's your job to keep out of their way. So says Jewish law. Contrast that Friday, that frenzy, that frantic sense of rushing to get ready for Shabbos, and the calm that descends once we light the candles, once we start the Kabbalat Shabbat. You know, we know that Shabbos comes in a certain time. There's a magnet we've got on our fridge that no matter when Shabbos comes in, I'm always ready 1 minute before. There's a lot of truth in that. How is it in the winter we're ready for 4 o'clock, and in the summer we struggle to be ready for 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock? Murphy's Law. But the fact is, we all know when you light the candles, you finalize everything. Whatever you didn't do, it's too late. If you didn't do it, nishkafelach, as they say in Yiddish. Shabbos begins, it's peace and quiet. The electronics are off. You sit down, you go to shul, you daven. You sit down to dinner, you play a game with your family. Or you spend time reading or contemplating, or you get to do things. Enjoy a different pace. Says the Arizal, that is a taste of the reward in the world to come. Now, I don't know about anyone else. And to be fair, not to knock any traditional Jews, but to experience Shabbos, you really have to try it properly. So don't just switch your phone off for the meal and then switch it back on, but have a whole Friday night when you're switched off, you're unplugged. And to unplug for 25 hours is something else completely. In today's world, where every time you hear a vibration, you tap your pocket. Right? I thought I was the only person that does this, but apparently it's a known phenomenon among psychiatrists, psychologists, that, phantom phone ringing type of thing. It'll be Shabbos. I know I don't have my phone on me, but nonetheless, I'll feel my pocket vibrating. I've got a phone call, got a message. That's how we live nowadays. To unplug for 25 hours is amazing. It's an amazing atmosphere. It's an amazing experience. Whether you do it on your own, or you do it with someone else. It's something else. It's something out of this world. Says the Arizal, that is out of this world. That whole Shabbos experience, not just the unplugging, but the songs, the prayers, the slower pace, the traditional foods, the smells, the sights, the tastes. All of it is a taste of heaven. It's a taste of paradise. That's an amazing thing. The amazing thing about Judaism is we celebrate in the physical world. We don't celebrate Shabbos by meditating, fasting for 25 hours and switching off from life. We celebrate with food, with drink, with sleeping longer, having a nap in the afternoon, with spending time together, with human interactions. Says the Arizal, that is a taste of the world to come. If that's the world to come, to me that's a pretty good reward. Enjoy it while you can. So as we go into Shabbat, and as many of us remain at home, realize it for the blessing that it truly is. It's a taste of the world to come. It's an amazing, special time. Make the most of it, cherish it, whether you're on your own, whether you're with your family, whatever the situation. Use those moments and use that 25 hours, that very special time, that taste of paradise. I wish us all a heavenly and out of this world Shabbat, not just this week, but every week. Take care and Shabbat Shalom.